Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a really good week. I've been fighting a cold for a little bit, and it finally caught up to me yesterday, so I don't really have like a longer or better researched video that I'm gonna have out this week. I've got a couple that I'm working on that I'm hoping maybe I'll be able to do like 2 videos next week if I can get enough rest and get myself together. So I figured while I'm out with this burst of energy that I have to get milk, I thought I would take advantage of it because when I'm home I just want to be in bed. So I grabbed my little clippy mic, and I hope that my voice is picking up. It's a little low, but I wanted to just talk a little bit about the whole Jussie Smollett thing. And this topic's been done to death by a lot smarter and better people than myself, but there's a different angle that I haven't really seen brought up, and it's something that I find really troubling. And it's just the thought of like, before I get into that, I want to say thank you. I need to say, thanks to a few people. Matthew, Mike, Chris, and John, thank you very much for supporting my channel this past month. I really appreciate it. And, it's not something that I promote a lot or push a lot, but I do appreciate it when donations come in. And, I'm really grateful that even though that I get a lot of pushback from YouTube for some of the things I say or some of the positions that I hold, there's a lot of support, and it's the reason why I keep going and I keep doing this. And as I've said to a few people, I don't have anything to lose by voicing my opinions other than followers and subscribers. So I know there's a lot of people out there that do and that can't speak their minds when they want to, and so that's why I'm here. And I really appreciate everybody. So getting back to this whole Jussie Smollett thing, we get into lawsuit territory as Tim Pool warns us. So, what he's alleged to have done, and he is maintaining his innocence. So, we have to wait. But there's, I guess what I'm trying to wrap my head around is like, what kind of person would fake a hate crime to the level that he supposedly did, and especially what kind of person who's coming from his position of immense privilege. What is going on in his mind if this is true. I doubted the story from when it first came out, just like I doubted Covington when that came out, and it's beginning to look like our initial suspicions were correct, and the evidence is mounting up against him. And again, he's insisting that he's innocent. I believe as of this morning he's been dropped from the show he was on, but I don't understand why someone would be so caught up in their sort of leftist thinking or their far left political leanings that they would get so consumed with hating Trump and hating Trump supporters that they would go to these levels and they would risk so much. To a certain extent, I think we can understand it when it's like a child. There was the case of, I believe at the time she was 11 or 12, but there was a young Muslim girl who made headlines because she said that someone came and tried to rip off her hijab, and that was proven to be fake. I think we all at the, at the time, and still to this day, I think everyone sort of chalks that up to, a kid not knowing any better, having her parents with an agenda, feeding stories into her head. And so that, we sort of understand that. And even to an extent, I can understand like a dumb, brainwashed college student thinking, this could get me some small pond fame. This will up my victimhood. This will give me some sort of power. It's wrong and it's stupid. But if you're a brainwashed college kid, I guess it sort of can make sense. But what doesn't make sense to me is this whole Jussie Smollett thing. For people who may not be aware, he's been in entertainment, he's been in TV like almost his whole life. He was in The Mighty Ducks, he was in that Halle Berry TV miniseries Queen. He and his siblings even had their own show for a little while on ABC called On Our Own. So this is someone who has been a working actor, a successful working actor for most of his life. So to say that you're coming from a place of oppression, or to say that I don't get it. And I don't get the level of derangement that could be going on here. On top of that, I don't know how many people realize his father's Jewish. He passed away a couple years ago. I can't even imagine what his father could be thinking. If all of this is true, if what he's accused of is true, what could you be thinking about? What could he be thinking about his son, and what his son was willing to do to prove some sort of political point? His mother is African American. His family has been in Hollywood for decades. This is not an oppressed guy. This is not a downtrodden person. This is a privileged, probably very wealthy family, and obviously a very wealthy young man. And actually, you can't even really blame it on him being a young man, because he's not a young man. I didn't realize I think he's only a few years younger than me. You can't even chalk this up to the stupidity of youth. He knows better. He should know better. I just don't get, like, where could you possibly be coming from? What could you possibly be thinking that you'd be willing to risk your entire career for some stupid lie? What were you thinking? What were you thinking? And I guess I just would like to get, I know we all have to be careful. We all have to be careful in comment sections now, and YouTube's looking at everybody. They want to keep us from sharing our thoughts. They want to keep us from, discussing real issues. But I would be very interested to hear what people have to say about this, to hear how people feel about this from that angle. How could this person that's coming from such a place of privilege actually believe that he's an oppressed minority? This is a guy who is a prominent Democrat. He rubs elbows with politicians. He's, friends with other, huge celebrities. He's on a hit network show. Maybe people don't consider him a household name, and Empire as itself is not as popular as it used to be. But Fox is a major network. You have the most blessed life that many people could ever possibly comprehend. And I want to say you were willing to throw it all away, but there's also a part of me that's, I don't have high hopes that this is going to actually stick with him. I don't think that this is something that people are really going to remember in a few years, and he may even turn around and milk this, and you know, do some sort of apology tour, you know, sell a couple books, you know, talking about how he allowed his rage and his anger to, you know, get the better of him and make this huge mistake. And I guess if the apology is genuine, then, you know, you have to consider forgiveness, of course. But as of now, again, he's denying everything, so I don't know if he's actually, you know, going to be remorseful of this at some point or not. But this is just crazy. What he's accused of doing, it's just crazy. And the fact that there's still people defending him, even with all this evidence showing that he very likely faked this whole thing and faked sending himself a letter to the studio, I don't know what level of derangement it takes to try to carry all of that off. So, you know, if you have thoughts on this, would love to hear them. Tread lightly as always. And if you appreciate these sort of discussions, if you like these kind of messages, please do me a huge favor and like, share, comment. My channel is being actively suppressed by YouTube, and I definitely need all the help I can get if I want to get these sort of you know, alternative viewpoints out there. So thank you again to Matthew and to Mike and Chris and John, and I wish you all a great weekend. I am hoping that I'm going to have a couple videos out next week once I'm feeling better. But thanks everybody, and remember to be excellent to each other.